Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So, color mixing, a daunting task, maybe. It does take a lot of practice and some knowledge of color theory, but I've got you. We are starting a brand new series all about color mixing, and today's intro video is just gonna give you an idea of how I approach color mixing, the theory behind it, and everything you need to know to get started on this challenge. So let's jump right in. Okay, so I am super excited to kick off this color mixing series with you guys, but there's a few basics of color theory that I really want to go over just to kind of take the mystery out of how do you mix colors so easily and fast. It comes with a lot of practice, but it also comes with understanding the color wheel. So in this series, I am going to be teaching you how to mix grays, how to mix browns, and then how to enhance maybe that one shade of purple that you have to create multiple different types of purple or green or yellow. Okay, so it takes just a bit of practice and a bit of knowledge with color theory. One thing I do recommend you doing before we hop into this series is making yourself a color wheel. If you have not made one before and you don't know what you're doing, I do have a video on it. It's linked in the description below, so go check that out and do that first. But right now, I'm just gonna kind of break down in the simplest way I know how to kind of grasp the idea of color mixing to get the colors that you want. Okay, so let's say we want to take this purple, which is dioxazine purple, one of my favorites, especially for mixing, and we want to kind of dull down the vibrancy of this purple. And you're like, I don't even know where to begin with that. Okay, so one thing you need to know are contrasting or complementary colors. Those are the colors that sit directly across from each other on the color wheel. So here's purple, and directly across is yellow. When you mix equal parts of two complementary colors, you get a shade of brown. So I'll just show you how that works. I've done how to make brown before, I think. So here's our purple. Here is our cadmium yellow. And when you mix equal parts, you get brown. Just like that. Same goes for mixing blue and orange, and then red and green. You all get different shades of brown. So if we want to dull down the vibrancy of purple and make it a bit more rustic looking, we know that we don't want to turn it brown, but we just want to dull it down a little bit. We can add, excuse me, a little bit of yellow to kind of mute that vibrancy in that color. So let me just grab a little bit of yellow here. And it's all about levels. So if you add more purple than you have yellow, you're gonna get more of a purpley color. If you have more yellow than you have purple, you're gonna get a more yellow color. So you just have to like play around and just try and add the proper levels. So here we go. This mixture has more purple than yellow. So you're getting kind of a muted tone of that purple. Okay. Now, another way to kind of mute a purple is to add green. You can go either way. You can add yellow or green. Now, the difference is we know that green is made up of blue and, sorry, this is green, blue and yellow. Okay. It's right in the middle of those two colors. Blue and yellow mixed together half and half is green. So if we want to add green to purple to kind of mute that color, we know that we're going to get some sort of brownish tint to it because green is made up of yellow, but it also has this blue that is half of green. So it's going to give you a bit more of a rich tone. So let me just show you. So we have purple here. I hope this makes sense. I know it's a little tricky, but once you kind of study the color wheel and you practice lots, you will get it, I promise. And then we're gonna grab some Hooker's green here. Okay, and it's gonna give you another muted purple, but it's a different shade. This one has a warmer tint to it because it's more on the yellow side because we added yellow. And this one's more of a cooler muted purple because it has that blue in it. Okay, so this has a blue undertone and this has a yellow undertone. Seems complicated, I know, but you just got to keep practicing. So if you're ever trying to think about, okay, I want kind of a rosy pink, like a rust pink, an antique pink. So here I have this permanent rose, which is probably my favorite pink, okay? And we want to make it an antique kind of muted pink. Same kind of thing we wanted to do with the purple. And you're like, how do I get there? So pink on the color wheel. We don't have pink on our color wheel, but we have red. Red or pink derives from red, okay? Red's complementary color is green. So if we add a small amount of green to our pink, we're gonna get that rusty rose color, okay? So let's grab our pink, like that. Grab a little bit of green, just a tad bit, and it's gonna dull that pink down to give you more of a rusty, antique pink. Okay, like that. So it's all about kind of looking at the color wheel and trying to figure out how to get where you want to go. Let's say we want to make a rusty, I know I'm all about these like rusty antique colors, but these are the colors that of tubes of paint that we usually tend to buy when really we can just make it our own. Actually, no, let's talk about greens for a second because there are so many different types of greens out there. And while I use a lot of sap green and Hooker's green dark, you really only need one green, okay? The one I would suggest is probably Hooker's green dark. So I'm just going to show you. Hooker's green dark is a bit of a cooler green, okay? It has a little bit of an undertone of blue, especially compared next to sap green. Let's just show you them side by side. Okay, you can see the difference. Sap green has a bit more of a yellow undertone. So instead of going out and buying sap green, let's try and add a little bit of yellow to our Hooker's green dark and see if we can achieve a similar color. There you go. There is your sap green. All right. What about we want more of an olivey green? Okay, so olive green has a bit more of a muted tone to it. Green and red, to mute a color, add its complementary color. So you would add a little bit of red. Let's try that because it kind of makes it a little bit brown. And olive, oopsie, my son's freaking out. You gotta love that. Olive has this brown undertone to it. Okay, there you go. You gotta love when my son has a tantrum in the middle of filming. Give it a second. Okay, so say you want to mix a darker green. Now, usually when we want to darken up a color, our first instinct is to use the color black. Now, you can do that, but in this sense, we don't have black. So the next darkest color would be purple. So I'm just gonna take my Hooker's green, like this. And I'm gonna add a bit of purple to it. That's way too much purple, so I'm just gonna add more green to it. More green, come on, more green, more green, more green. Okay, and we have a really nice dark kind of hunter, almost Christmassy green. Okay, so let's say we wanted that Viridian green, which is a popular color to buy. So Viridian has a blue undertone to it. So all you're gonna do is take your green and add a blue to it. So I have this ultramarine blue here. Or you can use turquoise, which is a bit more vibrant. But if you only wanna use one color, one blue in your palette, just pick whatever blue you have and you have this beautiful bluish green. Okay, so it's all about dissecting the color that you're about to mix with it. What colors are they made up of, especially the secondary colors? Orange is made up of yellow and red. Purple is made up of blue and red. So you just kind of have to stop for a second and think what those colors are made up of. So I'm not going to go through all the colors in the rainbow because we are going to focus on specific color mixtures through the next 7 color mixing videos, also creating some floral pieces with those colors. But I just wanted to give you an idea of how to dissect it and figure out how to do this on your own if I do go a bit fast for you. So remember, this does take practice. If you're new to color mixing, you may not get it right away, and that's okay. I didn't get it right away. I feel like a lot of people forget that I have been doing this for years. A lot of artists have. So it just comes with practice and mixing and, just practice. The other thing I don't want you to forget is that if you feel like you've made a muddy mess of a color, you've made a brown and you're like, I can't recover for this, I'm going to start over. Here's our purple and our yellow mixture. I've made brown. That's not the color I meant to add. That's not the color I meant to make. Start adding more of the color. You get a nice purple here. No color is lost. You can keep going. So just keep practicing, and I'm really excited for this series, and I hope you are too, and I hope this got you as excited as I am. Thank you all so much for watching my video. I really hope you liked it, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram and Facebook for even more. Have a great day, guys. Bye!